We have a quorum. The attorney's here. We're going to go ahead and call this meeting of the mayor and board of aldermen for the city of Natchez to order. I'll ask everyone to please stand for a word of prayer to be followed by our pledge. Reverend Marvel, you know I'm looking right at you. I tell you, you've become our chaplain lately. We're going to ask you to please lead us in prayer. Reverend Marvel is the pastor of Macedonia Baptist Church, and we're so grateful for him.
Amen. Let's get it on. Good morning to the mayor, to this board, and all present. This is the day the Lord has made. We will rejoice and be glad in it. The Bible says, behold, how good and how pleasant it is for brethren and sisters to dwell together in unity. Father God, we come this morning thanking you for the mayor and this board of leaders and directors for the city. We thank you for all who are present this morning. And now, Lord, we pray that you would grant the mayor and the board wisdom, knowledge, and understanding from on high, cooperation and respect for one another. We ask that you would bless the city of Natchez and bless the whole world, because everything belongs to you. We thank you for it now. In Jesus' name we pray, and everybody said, amen.
Amen. Thank you, Reverend Marvel. Let us now join together in our pledge. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. You may be seated. We'll ask the clerk to administer the roll call.
Alderwoman Hall.
Here.
Alderman Frazier.
Here.
Alderwoman Smith. Here. Alderwoman Irving.
Here.
Alderman Davis.
Here.
Alderman Maroney.
Here.
Mr. Mayor, all are present and accounted for.
Thank you so much. We will now proceed to our next item, welcoming visitors. And we're very grateful to have our friends and partners from Natchez Adams County School District, the Fallon Center, and we're going to recognize them now. We do have them scheduled for 5 minutes. We've already had a meeting. Love what y'all are doing. You come during budget time. It's a good time to be here. And so we're going to recognize, we have Mr. Cleveland Moore, who is the director at the Fallon Center. And also with him, we have Jennifer McDonald and also Melody Brown.
Good morning.
Good morning. And so you're recognized. Who is doing our speaking today? All right, Mr. Moore.
Good morning, everyone.
Good
Good
morning.
morning.
Mayor, Board of Aldermen. We come this morning to request our work-based learning program at Natchez. The two ladies are handing out your overview of the program as well as the programs we offer at Fallon Career Technology Center. For a number of years, the city of Natchez has always employed one senior at the department of you all's choosing to work throughout the school year to be employed. Most times it has been at the police department. Again, I say it's at the department of you all's choosing, but we are requesting that you would consider employing a senior at Natchez High School or NECA to work for the city for the remainder of the school year. There is no maximum or minimum. We try to give them at least between 15 and 20 hours per week. Most of them have a flexible school schedule, so they will probably be getting out of school around noon and can report to work at that time.
All right. And we understand you've got some students who have just shown exceptional skills,
Yes, sir.
great performance on tests, great reliability, and so I think this is a good opportunity. I will tell you, we've already talked to our Director of Human Resources, Ms. Caroline Deason,
Yes, sir.
and we've asked her to get with various departments to look for an opportunity. Have not found one yet right now, but I'm hopeful we will.
Yes,
I understand school just came back.
yes, sir. This is day 6,
last
day
week.
7.
Yes, and I do understand that this would be whenever the hire starts to the end of the school year,
Yes, sir.
which would be next May.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Do we have any discussion? Any
Yes.
questions? Yes, Alderwoman Irving?
Well, I think it's a great idea. I'm all for it, with the work-based learning course, being implemented and being a part of our municipality. I hope we really consider this. It gives the students the opportunity to learn these skills sets so that they can move forward and matriculate within their program within school.
And their high school degree at the same time.
Mhm.
Well, I understand the Career Academy is now headed in that same direction,
Yes, sir, it is.
a high school diploma and a job certification at the time of graduation.
Yes.
And this dovetails perfectly with our workforce development program that we're in partnership with you, with the county, and also with Colin. And that they have to be 18 in order to enroll. And so this is perfect dovetailing.
Yes, sir. We
Thank
thank you all.
Thank
for
you.
allowing us the opportunity.
Thank you.
Thank you. Y'all have a blessed day.
Okay.
Next, we have Mr. Jerry Ogden. Mr. Ogden would like to address us, is on the agenda. And Mr. Ogden, it was a pleasure talking to you yesterday. Good to see you here today. And as I told you, that 5 minutes does go by fast, but we'll do our best.
We'll try to do it.
You're recognized.
Thank you for calling me last night.
It was a pleasure.
And I want to thank this whole board for standing and saying the pledge of allegiance to that flag to honor our country that God has given us, because without God, we would not have the country we have and the opportunities that we have as citizens of this country.
Amen.
One of the first thing I would like to say is, which I'm not going to say that I'm right on what I'm saying, but I think it's a good start. And I think the boards of this city and county should come together. We got to,
Could you speak louder in the mic, please?
yes, ma'am.
Thank you. You may want to pull it closer to you.
The school system is something that's critical in Natchez, Adams County. We've got public schools and we've got 2 private schools. But the education is not what it should be. I'm not going to come here to say which one's better than the other, but we've got our problem. I think we can do better, but like when I got nominated for the school board, which then I didn't get on the board, one of the things is that we've got to get parents involved in their children's life early on. Doesn't matter where you come from or who you are, and that's a major problem. And that's where we also instill morals and ethics into our children. And if we are true God believers and Christians, that is something that you cannot get out of their lives. You've got to put it into them. And even if you're a public official, if you're a Christian, there's no way to separate church and state, because your decisions will be made on your principles with God himself. This part about church and state being separated when our country was found had to do with the Church of England, that they were not going to rule our country from the pulpit.
That's right.
But anyway, I think the Board of Aldermen, Board of Supervisors, and the Natchez Adams School District should come together and develop some programs about somehow to get parents involved. Don't let them run rampant on the street. They talk about suspending students for vaping or knives or whatever on campus. They shouldn't be there to start with. None of it. And expelling them for whether it's a week, 5 days, 10 days, is that really going to help? The parents need to be fined and have to come out of their pocketbook, and this stuff will stop somewhere along the way. Now, our school district here spends approximately $72 million a year for 2,400 students. That's $30,000 approximately per student. That's a lot of money. The state average is about $16,500 plus or minus. So we're running up a lot of debt. You cannot create wealth for the community by doing that. The Board of Supervisors owes $8 million. The city of Natchez owes $21 million. You're in debt. you're not flexible to make moves quickly, business-wise. And I'm coming from the business side because I'm strictly business. I've been in business for myself since 24 years old. I'm not saying I haven't had help, and God smiled on me many times in life. And the tax base around here, how do you build wealth? It's nice to know that we got malls coming, Hobby Lobby's here, Five Below's coming, maybe another mall. Yes, those are going to create jobs, but they're not wealth-creating jobs for the community.
Thank you.
It's
Thank
going to help people survive, but it doesn't build wealth.
No, well,
We've lost all the industry here, except I saw where the company down on the port, they're going to spend $5.75 million. Where's new companies, industry coming? Technology. Wealth today is in technology, aerospace, defense,
healthcare.
technical. Natchez is dying. It's been dying since 1981. Oil and gas business has been dying since 1981. That's my business. Good thing I had other places to go to raise money to drill wells with besides Natchez, Adams County, Mississippi. Even though I had some real good help initially on when I was 24 from John Callan and D.A. Bigline, two most prominent people in Natchez. But it's a good thing I went and searched out for help other places. But we got to get industry in here. And talking about the school system, a lot of people send their kids to private schools to get an education. The Natchez Adams School District is one of the worst in the state. Now, whose fault is that? We must not have the right people in charge or the right teachers. And it goes back to the parents and respecting their teachers. A lot of these kids need boulders on their behinds, not discipline with the mouth. But it goes back to the parents. But when you take what 2 children would cost you, or we just take one, approximately $10,000 a year to send to the private schools around here. And I didn't say they were the best either, because I can tell you that they're not. But if you take $10,000 a year, and I'll continue it on out, but at 6% earnings, if you put that money in a mutual fund with American Mutual Funds, 30 years later, you got $848,000. Personally, I can earn more than 6% than those mutual funds can. If you took 20,000, if they had several kids, that's 1.7 million. That is wealth building that we're spending, throwing out the door right now. Going forward, we don't have that money in this community. And we've got to do something better. Taxes, to give an example.
Mr. Ogden, we're up on,
One more thing.
well, I know you're about to close. We'll let you
Talking about
continue.
taxes. A house, $600,000 house here in Natchez, Mississippi, taxes are $9,000. $477,000, $500 house in Corbin, Kentucky, in the county and city, $786. That's a huge difference. What is, I don't make the decision on what all the money gets done with in this town. I realize we got things to take care of, but also look at what's being spent at the public schools here. We're throwing money away. We've got to figure out and pull that money back. We've got to get industry in here. And I don't know what all Natchez Inc. does, but I have my doubts how good a job they really do, because I don't ever see any major industry that's come here because of Natchez Inc. If I'm wrong, tell me, show me who it is. But we've lost all the big industry. We've lost oil and gas. Tourism is not what it used to be. They got these gambling boats down here. If that took Natchez, I voted against it. If that's what it took for Natchez to survive, it doesn't need to survive if it takes gambling. You're taking money from the most people who cannot afford it to go to the gambling boats and spend money.
Mr. Ogden, we're out of time. Thank you very much.
Ms. Mayor, I had a
Thank
comment.
Yes, Alderwoman Irving.
You want to go? I just want to share this with you. You said Natchez Adams School District has the worst education system.
From what I have read in the paper and have seen, and reports I have seen.
I just want to share with you that Natchez Adams School District has not been fully funded the education monies since 1977. They work with what they have. They're short on their budget. Maybe 5 years ago, it was $18 million that they have not retrieved. So they are doing great considering the amount of money that they have to work with our students. We have qualified people in those positions over there, and those that are not, they're doing their best. But I want to piggyback on something you said too. Our children, they're our future.
Absolutely.
They're innocent in all of this. So where are our programs to help our parents? We took away, a lot of things were taken away from education. Sex education, that's no longer taught in school.
Sex education should
Yes.
not be taught in school.
I've got to
It should
say,
be,
Ma'am,
and
This
it
is-
should be,
this is a
as
forum.
long as it's done appropriately.
This is a forum
Okay.
for citizen input, but we don't have time to get into minute
I'm just trying to say where the
discussions
money
right
is, and I'm just in some of your issues that you're saying, because when children are not informed, they're not made aware of, they can't do any better. Parents are not. There are a lot of programs that have been cut back, sir, but I can share this with you, that the Natchez Adams School District, and I have grandchildren, and I've had children, and I was educated in the Natchez public school system. Everything that could be afforded to us was and still is. They're doing their very best. They need the money. So what we need to do as citizens of this county, let's write MDA and ask where's the funding for Natchez Adams School District, because that's what they're lacking.
I want
Thank
to,
you.
I want to thank you, Mr. Ogden, for
That's
your
what we
time.
need to do. And
Thank
it's
you
not a
so
bad
much.
thing. I'm not being
We-
critical, but I'm just responding.
We are-
Because that's what's happening. Maybe you didn't know that side.
We are way past out of time, and I'm so
Okay.
sorry. Alderwoman,
Thank you, Mr. Ogden, for coming before the board, but I'm not gonna malign any school district in this community. I went to the Catholic schools. I have friends and relatives who are products of the public school system. And recently, at convocation, there was not one member of the press present to hear the astronomical number of students in the Natchez Adams School District who scored perfect on the state scores.
I
Who
just
scored
read about
advanced on
those,
the state scores.
but that's a small percentage.
Sir, I'm saying, I'm not gonna sit here and allow anyone, you
To
all have
be-
every right to express your opinion,
That's right.
but I'm not gonna concur with your maligning any school district in this community.
Mr. Mayor,
I'm not trying to put them down. I want them
Mr.
built
Mayor.
up.
we have a long
We can
agenda
accept
I
ahead
know
of
we do,
us,
but I need to
but
address this too.
Alderman Frazier, you're
Let-
recognized.
Let me say this to you, sir. I don't agree with you on some of this stuff, and I do. But here's what I say. The school district, like the Alderwoman Irvin was saying, is underfunded. Also, we have some great teachers over there as a matter of fact, at all school systems around here. And as far as the economic toll, let me just say this. The city of Natchez in Adams County in 1976, we was rich with everything, oil, John Manville, IP, all these industry was in here. But here's what happened. Long before this board got here and any else got here, and before our city planners failed to plan for the future. The Board of Aldermen, the supervisors, they failed to plan for the future. So now what we at now, we're in a crossroad trying to catch up to everybody else. We lost everything that we had because we didn't plan for the future. Now that's where I look at it. We are, like I say, we're struggling to keep up. Our major industry now is tourism. Like I explained to people, tourism is fine, but tourism doesn't benefit everybody. You can't raise a family of 4 off of $25,000 a year. And I agree with you. We do need major industry. If further you say about Natchez Inc., Chandler Russ now, this is my personal opinion. I'm like you, I don't see nothing he did. So bring it in here to me. Because we need some industry in here. $18 an hour job, $19 to $20 an hour job. You are totally right on a lot of stuff you say. Then I say, I don't agree with you on a lot of stuff.
I told the Board of Supervisors that the Board of Aldermen and the Board of Supervisors need to get together and hire somebody that's credible, that's reputable, that can go out and talk to companies and raise money, bring money to Natchez. I've done that all my life in oil and gas. You've got to go talk to people. You can't sit in an office in Natchez. You can't have a position. It's not going to work. You got to get on the phone. We got an internet nowadays. You got to
Network.
call the industry and you got to go search them out and go bring them here. And you got to have a plan before you leave here to go talk to them.
That's
How
right.
we going to get them here?
Thank
and all
you.
that.
Thank you.
And-
We
have
have
a
to
card?
move on. I appreciate you, Mr. Ogden. Thank you so much.
Thank you for your time. We might talk about some other things.
Look forward to it. The next on our agenda, we have an introduction of Mr. Lance Harris, who is our new executive director at Visit Natchez. Mr. Harris, good to see you and good to welcome you.
Thank you, Mayor, and thank you, Board of Aldermen, for having me today. I'm very excited to be before you today. I'm excited about the work that we're about to have undergoing at Visit Natchez. Many of you know I spent many years working for Archives and History, telling some of the important stories for Natchez at the Grand Village of the Natchez Indians and historic Jefferson College. And I'm looking forward to continue that work to tell the rich and varied history and cultural traditions of Natchez to a broader audience. Since we were just talking about some economic numbers, I do want to share a few numbers with you from our 2024 Economic Impact Report. And this is strictly for Adams County. So just so you know, in 2024, there was direct and indirect spending associated with tourism at the tune of $193.9 million. And there were 1,374 direct and indirect employees related to the tourism industry just in here in Adams County alone. So with that, with the many initiatives that several businesses have, the work of our tourism partners, and the work that we're doing at Visit Natchez, I'm looking forward to increasing those numbers in the near future. If you ever need me, my office is right over there on Main Street. You can reach me at 601-492-3000, I believe is the phone number. And I'm looking forward to working with you in the future to further promote Natchez. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact me at any time.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Well,
I appreciate it.
congratulations again, Mr. Harris. Yeah,
Congratulations.
pleasure to see you. Do we have any questions, any comments for Mr. Harris?
Glad you're back.
Alderwoman Hall?
Welcome, and so glad you're in place.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Well deserved.
Only thing I got to say,
Alderman Frazier?
I'll say this, I do believe you have a little more insight, and I believe that you will truly do a better job. And as you just listened to my statement, I will hold you accountable.
Sure thing.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you for your time.
We appreciate you, Mr. Harris. Thank you. And Mr. Harris, we'll see you. It's a good time to remind people we have a meeting with our lodging partners today at 3:00 here in the City Council chamber to talk about how we can work as a community to improve those tourism numbers. But I am very grateful for the growth we've seen in tourism in recent years. That study done by Visit Mississippi, those studies over the years have shown steady growth since the COVID pandemic. So we're excited.
Yes, to that effect, we have we're currently experiencing growth over last year than we are today. And again, we're looking forward to seeing that growth continue into the future.
Great. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. And it helps too that the dock project's going to be underway later this year under the hill, bringing more cruise passengers here, and that the Eola project will be underway at a point we think in the near future. Good things for Natchez. Not to mention United Airlines. Have you bought your ticket lately? I just bought a ticket for my wife Marla a couple nights ago, and I was amazed at how reasonable it is now to fly anywhere in the world from right here in Natchez. All right, next up we have Elizabeth Greer, Board President of Downtown Natchez Alliance. Good to see you, Ms. Greer. This is for your monthly report.
Yes, sir. Good morning. Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mayor Gibson, members of the Board of Aldermen, city officials, and guests. I'd like to recognize and thank Ms. Chesney Joyle, our Executive Director, for all her amazing work this month, prior, and in the future for sure. And thank all of you for your continued service to downtown Natchez. Robert Louis Stevenson once wrote, "Do not judge each day by the harvest you reap, but by the seeds that you plant." And downtown revitalization requires that same kind of patience. Some of the work we celebrate today represents the harvest of years of planning and partnership. Other accomplishments are simply seeds that we've planted together that will continue to grow in the years ahead. Our board of directors wants to thank you for the positive response to DNA's annual report presented last month. It was an opportunity to reflect on what had been accomplished through the partnership between the City of Natchez, the Downtown Natchez Alliance, downtown businesses, volunteers, and so many community organizations. None of those accomplishments belong to one organization alone, and that's exactly what makes it so meaningful. In July, it gave us many harvests or reasons to celebrate. Downtown welcomed the Sugar Emporium and the Natchezian with a ribbon cutting. Christmas in July brought shoppers downtown during the Mississippi sales tax holiday. And our arts community continued creating reasons for people to visit with the Wyatt Waters Art Gallery book signing and Arts Natchez's monthly second Saturday. And of course, the Natchez Food and Wine Festival weekend. Every successful event adds another reason for people to experience downtown. And it reminds us that Natchez continues to be a vibrant place to live, work, shop, dine, and visit. The Delta Fuel fire was certainly the defining event in July, and I spoke about that a bit during my last report. Today, I would like to recognize what grew from that. The collaboration among city leadership, first responders, downtown businesses, volunteers, utility crews, restaurants, and neighbors reminded us what this community is capable of when we all work together. DNA's Facebook post recognizing that effort has now reached over 120,000 views, and the response has led to newspaper and television coverage, and even an invitation to write a guest article in the Bluffs and Bayous magazine. This is another opportunity to tell the story of Natchez and the people who make this community so special. That same spirit of collaboration continued after the fire. Working alongside Mayor Gibson and Richard Burke, Val Robinson, Justin Dollar, Imaginary Company, and others, DNA helped to coordinate the Main Street is Open campaign and detour messaging to encourage residents and visitors to continue supporting those downtown businesses during the temporary closure. While no one hopes for situations like that, we are grateful for the relationships that were strengthened and the ideas that emerged for future downtown collaboration and communication. Our regular meetings with Mayor Gibson and his team continued producing meaningful results as well. This month, they helped move forward with improvements to the Canal Street traffic pattern, discussions about downtown beautification and fall cleanup, and this afternoon's lodging partners meeting. These conversations continue demonstrating that when we collectively gather at the table early, practical solutions often follow. We're also continuing to evolve our downtown merchant group meetings by bringing community leaders and service providers directly to our merchants. Recent conversations with the Natchez Adams County Airport and Meridian Waste have been well received, creating opportunities for questions, better communication, and collaborative problem solving. One thing that especially encouraged me this month is watching organizations continue to find new ways to work together. Visitors don't experience Natchez one organization at a time. They experience our entire community. Every restaurant, shop, gallery, attraction, hotel, bed and breakfast, festival, and event contributes to that experience. And that's why our collaboration really matters. Living History Natchez recently announced its new Dickens Christmas experience for December, adding another exciting reason for visitors to spend the holiday season in Natchez. LHN came and invited the Downtown Natchez Alliance to work with them to build in shopping events and venues at downtown merchant groups. And I just think that's wonderful to come together from the beginning. DNA has also continued conversations with multiple community organizations with the goal of developing a more comprehensive annual calendar of events. More than simply a list of dates, the purpose of this collaborative effort is to move communication forward, identify opportunities to work together, plan farther ahead, and create the best possible experience for both our residents and visitors alike. Another conversation that has quietly gained momentum since the Delta Fuel fire includes the future of the Clark Theater. There's nothing official yet, but it is encouraging to hear people imagining new possibilities for one of downtown's most recognizable landmarks. Every meaningful project begins with a conversation, and I am excited to see our community dreaming again about what our future can hold. Behind the scenes, DNA has successfully completed the ARPA Balcony Awning and Facade Incentive Grant Program and is finalizing the required reporting while preparing new grant opportunities through the Community Foundation for Mississippi and Mississippi Main Street. We are specifically researching grants for wayfinding signage right now too, so please be patient and stay tuned because we are going to prevail with that. And we're continuing to strengthen our organization internally so that we're ready for the next opportunity when it arrives. DNA is also investing in learning and in bringing new ideas home. This week, I'm excited to attend the Mississippi Main Street Economic Vitality Conference in Pascagoula. One of the greatest benefits of plugging into the Mississippi Main Street Network is learning from communities that have already solved the challenges that we are working through today. And I look forward to bringing those ideas back to Natchez. In September, Chesney and I will attend the Destination Downtown Conference in Baton Rouge. And we will continue learning from successful downtown organizations from a multi-state region. We're equally excited to continue working with Visit Natchez, now under the leadership of Mr. Lance Harris. Congratulations, Lance. The Natchez Convention Center and Mississippi Main Street and our own Chamber of Commerce to host a 100+ person statewide Mississippi Main Street workshop titled Backstage Pass. Scheduled for Thursday and Friday before the Natchez Food and Wine Festival in 27, this plan is to cross-promote and work in downtown shopping and exploration time for the visitors. This has been a strong collaborative effort from the beginning and a great example of how we can all work together to maximize opportunities for Natchez. Looking ahead, planning is already underway for another exciting fall season downtown. Our Pumpkin Patch Festival dates are now on the calendar, and we're looking forward to another fun fall tradition. We're also continuing our cooperative advertising initiative, helping downtown businesses market together while strengthening the overall message about everything happening in downtown Natchez. Now comes the important part. We need our local churches, civic clubs, schools, nonprofits, businesses, and volunteers to show up and to show out. That's what has always made the Pumpkin Patch such a special community event. And I know that Natchez will once again rise to the occasion. Good things happen when people come together. Ideas become projects, projects become partnerships, and partnerships help move our community forward. DNA certainly does not own every success. We're simply grateful for each opportunity to help bring people together, to support our partners, and to celebrate the good things happening throughout our community. Mayor and members of the board, thank you for continuing to pull up a chair with us, for believing in downtown Natchez, and for your steadfast partnership and investment in our community. We look forward to continuing the work together. Thank you.
All right.
Good job.
Thank you.
Good job. Thank you. I do have to ask this one question. How
Yes, sir.
many facades did we improve downtown during that awnings project?
I know there were 32 awnings and 12 or 14, no, the complete facades, 14?
The facade projects, they were balconies, facades.
They put them in different buckets. So the
There was
balcony,
six, I think
yes.
6 total facades. And then the awning project, we put up a total of 29
That's what I
awnings.
thought,
Okay.
yeah.
plus the one
And those
that
fall
we
under
put-
facade. They're in buckets.
It looks great. We see the improvement. Money
We
well
have plans for
invested.
that too.
Thank you.
We want to keep going with that. So that's kind of, we're working on that as well.
Thank
We
you.
don't want it to stop there.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Ms.
All right.
Mayor,
Yes,
I just
Alderwoman.
want to say thank you. And I heard you over and over again reiterate, when people come together, have the conversation, carry out the dream, the vision, all of this comes together. And that's what needs to happen in every aspect of this city,
Yes.
including education.
As a
Including
retired school
education.
teacher and principal,
Yes.
I definitely concur and support.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, next we have Mr. James Johnson, Community Development. Mr. Johnson, I think this is the shortest report you've had in a long time. I don't know what's up. I guess we've just gotten so much completed.
You ain't adding them?
We're checking off the list.
Morning, Mayor and
All
Board.
right, Mr. Johnson.
I did provide an updated report at your respective desks earlier this morning. I think the draft was a little incomplete, but, purchase and installation of LED panels at the Convention Center, funded with the 2022 Convention Center GOB. Quote bids for the purchase and install of two 6-foot 6-inch by 13-foot 2-inch LED video walls were received until 2:00 p.m.
I
yesterday.
don't think we have the right slide.
Right.
We need to
No.
make sure.
It's a
we-
bug.
It's a bug. It's,
Supposed to be a bug.
That's the only-
Yeah,
I
it's a
think
bug.
we've skipped a
We
page,
have it.
but we have
We
it.
have it.
It's just not on the screen.
Sent over the
Please
wrong
continue.
page.
Yeah,
My
it would have been
bad
above
on
it.
that. My bad on that.
Okay.
Remove that a moment, Lee. My bad on that, but I did put it at your respective desks. I guess when I was printing it to a PDF, I printed the wrong pages. We did receive 3 quote bids. They are in print in front of you. American LED Wall Company, $44,908. LED Nation, $32,384. And Conference Technologies, Inc., $84,689. Staff, in concert with Waycaster Dungan, is requesting a motion to accept the bid of American LED Wall Company totaling $44,908. The reason that the quote bid from LED Nation was not selected is that it has been determined to be non-responsive because they did not include the specified installation and the truss system as detailed in the scope of work.
All right.
So moved.
Motion made by Alderwoman Hall,
Second.
seconded by Alderman Davis. Discussion. We'll call for the question.
Call.
We'll proceed to a vote. All in favor of the motion indicate by saying aye. Nays? Ayes have it. Motion carries.
Duncan Park Golf Clubhouse Phase 2 renovation funded in part by the Atlanta Water Conservation Fund, the State Department of Wildlife, Fisheries and Parks. Bids for the above referenced project were received until 11:00 a.m. on Thursday, July 23rd, 2026. A summary of the bids is provided both in front of you and on screen. Staff, in concert with consulting architect Belinda Stewart Architects, is requesting a motion to accept the base bid of Braswell Construction totaling $367,770. Pleasure of the board.
So moved.
Motion made by Alderwoman Hall, seconded by Alderwoman Smith. Discussion.
That money,
Yes,
funding has
Alderwoman.
already been allocated. It's in the budget.
Yes, ma'am. It'll be carried over as well.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
And we have a grant assisting with this.
Yes.
We'll now call for the question.
Call.
We'll proceed to a vote. All in favor of the motion indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Motion carries. I do want to point out, this is at a significant savings from what we originally were expecting, and can't wait. Next item.
Procurement of engineering, environmental, and application work plan services, Fine Avenue Drainage Improvement Project, FY26 Community Grant Program, US EPA. The appointed review committee comprised of Alderwoman Irving, City Clerk Megan McKenzie, Public Works Superintendent Justin Dollar, and staff evaluated the 6 professional services proposals received. The cumulative score of each proposal are based on the established evaluation criteria of clarity of submittal, firm qualifications, technical competence of all key personnel, familiarity with EPA regulations, ability to meet project deadlines, scope and budget demands, and past performance on similar projects. The cumulative scores for each proposal received is as follows. Balanced Environmental, 318. Brian Hammett, 305. Neil Schaefer, 361. Volkert, 339. WGK, 336. Waycaster Duncan, 380. Staff is requesting a motion to select Waycaster Duncan to provide the solicited services subject to the review and approval of the procurement review of the U.S. EPA Environmental Protection Agency.
So moved.
Pleasure of the board.
Motion made by Alderwoman Irving and seconded by Alderwoman Smith.
Oh, I'm sorry, who's second?
Alderwoman Hall. Discussion? We'll call for the question. We'll proceed to a vote. All in favor of the motion indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. The ayes have it, motion carries.
Thank you.
And that project's going to be funded by a special federal appropriation that we
Mhm.
received. Grateful for that.
Yes, working on the waivers next.
All right, Mr. Johnson, thank you. Also received word today from Mr. Johnson in our department director meeting this morning, that the petitions are being covered this week. They just started yesterday. And that is the final step in the full renovation of the convention center. So we're excited about that. Should be finished by Sunday. So the convention center project will be totally complete, including so much that we've done there, including a new roof. Grateful. Mr. Johnson, thanks for managing all of these projects for us. Also, Mr. Johnson informed me that work should begin in early September on the erosion control drainage project on Briarwood. That is another project we've received funding from the federal government on. And I know individuals in that area have been waiting for many years for this, and I'm so grateful that we're finally getting it done at no cost to the city. We'll now move on to Justin Dollar, Public Works Director.
Good morning, Mayor and Board.
Good
Good
morning.
morning.
As you'll see on the agenda today, I'm here to speak in reference to one of the large live oaks in front of City Hall. As many of you are aware, several weeks ago over the weekend, a large portion of the tree did split out in the early morning hours. We have since came out and got the tree cleaned up and brought in a licensed arborist to take a look that specializes in old historic live oak trees. To see exactly what could be done at this point to potentially salvage the tree for many years to come. With that being said, the Holland Street Care is the individual that was brought in to take a look at it. He submitted a proposal for several items to be done in an effort to try to save the tree. So I'm here before you today seeking approval on two of those items. One of the items we are going to do in conjunction with somebody local. We're going to do that in-house. The other two items are the crown reduction and the growth hormone regulation. Those are the two items that we'll be seeking approval for you all today.
Repeat that again. Crown reduction. What's the other?
Growth hormone regulation.
Okay. Then that's for the tree.
That's for the tree.
Mr. Dollar, what is the cost of this?
So the total of those two items is $3,768.
All right.
Okay.
And his prognosis, once we do this, plus the items y'all are taking care of in-house, it will safeguard the tree for future years.
For future years. Yes, that is the ultimate goal here.
That's good news. That's good news.
So what, if you don't mind
Yes,
asking, what
Alderwoman
would
Irving.
we do from the city perspective? You all doing the safeguard?
So one of the items was a root collar exploratory excavation. So basically, the mass of material that's built up around the bottom portion of the tree, all of that will need to be removed so that the roots become exposed to prevent girdling and things of that
Gotcha.
nature.
And you'll
Thank
have to do that on both trees.
That will be done on both.
On
trees.
both trees
Yes.
over here, on both sides?
That's correct.
Okay.
All right. All right. Do I have a motion?
So move.
Motion made by Alderman Maroney. Who seconded
I
that
did.
motion? Alderwoman Irving has seconded the motion. Discussion?
Yes,
Yes, Alderman Frazier.
I just want to simply say that I do have issues with this company. because this company once filed legal action against the city of Natchez, therefore I am voting nay.
I don't believe that's correct. What company are you referring to?
Live Oak Nursery.
This isn't Live Oak.
It's not Live Oak?
They're,
It's
they're,
live oak damaged tree.
Okay.
they're addressing the damage to the Live Oak.
That's, yes, to the
This-
live company, not
This is
live oak.
Holland Tree
Get me
Service.
straight now, 'cause
Yes, Holland's
I
Tree
don't go
Care.
for no food.
Yeah,
Holland's
it's Holland's
Tree
tree care.
Okay, what you specify, so.
Okay,
That's okay. We got
all
you.
right. Well, in that case, I think we can call for the question.
Go.
We'll proceed to a vote. All in favor of the motion indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. The ayes have it, motion carries.
Get me straight, Mr. Mayor.
All right. All right, Alderman Frazier. Mr. Dollar, I thank you very much. Mr. Dollar, I also want to just commend your crew members. They've been getting a lot done. We're getting caught up. Thanks to prison help, cleaning right-of-ways, taking care of so many issues on the outskirts of Natchez plus downtown. I want to thank you also for working with MDOT to really increase their maintenance of their areas, not only within the city limits, but on the outskirts of our city limits. We have seen an improvement in that area, and I'm grateful for the work you do on that. Thank you. We will now move to our city official reports. Alderwoman Hall.
Yes, sir. Is this for anyone's discussion today or?
That is something that I'm taking up a little later. I can,
Because, yeah, we need to
Yeah,
discuss
we
this.
discussed that.
certainly.
What is it?
I want to thank Mr. Dollar, Mr. Rudder for all the work they are doing. They are in this heat. It's been astronomical, the amount of heat indexes we've had this year. And from the work that Public Works has done on Briarwood, in the midst of some of the complaints from the residents there and some of the praises that they are getting from some of the residents in that area. That was a major collapse in that area and an undertaking that was more serious than they initially thought. So I want to thank them for what they're doing in that area. And for Mr. Rudder, as always, accommodating for any complaints I get from citizens when I reach out to you. Also want to thank the Chief of Police and for his department for inviting the Mayor and Board of Aldermen for lunch the other day. Thank you very much. An opportunity to meet the officers, the commanders, and get to know you all. Thank you all very much for doing that. I also ask that the board adjourn in silence in memory of Ms. LaCoria Robinson, who fell dead yesterday evening at Belk, her place of employment, and a longtime employee over 40 years in the Natchez Adams School District. And also for George Sedoris Jr., who was instrumental in our current day MEMA, our local emergency management system, and our present E911 system. Also what is known today as FEMA. He also worked on that. So I'm asking that we adjourn. I worked many years with his wife at the hospital. I've known his children a long time, and grandchildren. So I'm asking of these two things. And that ends my report.
Thank you, Alderwoman Hall. Alderman Frazier, you're recognized.
Yes, I would, this weekend I attended a Mississippi Policy Conference held in Tunica, Mississippi, held by Congressman Benny Thompson. I was graced with the opportunity to serve on the panelists of talking about the state of the country and everything, which was held by the Southern Poverty Law Center. It was discussing the voter right acts in different voting areas. It was a variety of statements that were made and stuff, but it was, like I say, it was very informative. And I really enjoyed serving on the panel, talking about voting. What are you doing in your community to get the peoples out to vote and everything? But like I say, it just was a discussion. We didn't talk about who to vote for or anything like that. But like I say, it was a good conference. And I think everyone should attend the conference, at least know what's going on. And Congressman Thompson is really doing an excellent job in the state of Mississippi, although some people feel that he's not. But anytime you are one of the top congressmen in the state of Mississippi, it's good. But we do have, I'm not just on the Congressman Thompson, all our congressmen are top in what they're doing for the state of Mississippi. Now, let me say this. Yesterday, we had I want to thank the Natchez Fire Department for doing an excellent job of putting out this fire at Titan Tire Company. Let me say, if this would have took place, it would have been in the nighttime. I think it would have been devastating to the whole community. This fire was caught in the nick of time. If not, we would have had to evacuate Concord, Bluebird, and Holden Lane. All these people would have been affected. It's a possibility that those people that surround the community and maybe a little further, we probably would have had to stay out of our houses for at least a month or two because of the chemicals and stuff that's still hanging on in that plant. And it's hard to analyze this, but the board, we've been working to try to do something with that plant. We want to kind of tear it down, but we don't have the general funds and stuff to tear that plant down. It looked like a jungle over there, people. It really, really looked bad. But like I say, the lack of personnel at the Public Works Department, we can't cover everything. And we're having issues right now in the city of Natchez because we can't get anything because Mr. Dollar don't have the personnel to cover everything. Now, I would just like to simply say, if the board allowed me, I would allow for Ms. Eva Dunkley to have some of my time. She wants to voice her concern and some of the other constituents. I see Ms. Harden is there, and my neighbor down, I can't think of her name now, she's here. So if I'd like to make a motion that they come up and speak on behalf of the Bluebird and the rest of the community in the surrounding area.
Second.
Okay, motion has been made by Alderman Frazier, seconded by Alderwoman Irving, and we'll move to a vote. All in favor of the motion indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. The ayes have it, motion carries. Yes, ma'am. Ms. Dunkley?
I have been up all night, afraid to go there. Sleep last
Oh,
night.
Ms.
Pull the mic
Dunkley,
to your face.
we do need your
Sign in.
name and address for
My
our
name is
minutes.
Eva Doris McDaniel Dunkley, and I've been a resident of that community for 50 years.
State your address, Ms. Duncan.
102 South Bluebird Drive.
Thank you.
And I used to hear people say they're sick and tired of getting sick and tired. I am sick and tired of coming up here year after year and not getting any results year after year. And I've been listening to the reports this evening and everything, hunky-dory on one side of town, but nothing is going on the north side of town. That plant over there is ridiculous. And what I'm talking about, Mr. Doll, your fellows, they don't do a good job over there. I had to go over there and tell them that once the weeds grow up, you need to use the weed killer for the weed. And they finally started doing it. So now it's a bunch of brown.
Ms. Dunkley, speaking to the mic, please.
Y'all can't hear me.
But it's to be recorded.
Okay. But it is pathetic, and it has never, ever looked like that before. I've been trying over 10 years to get that big tank spray painted. It's ridiculous. That rusty tank. And the situation yesterday, I'm told that's not the first time. I'm told that there was smoke coming from the roof last week. So something needs to be done, and it needs to be done as quick as possible before we have something that we can't handle. And I just would like to say to the aldermen, all of you, take a walk over there. I don't see any of you on that end of town, but just walk through there and see what has happened. That community was not like that. It was not like that. It was the best kept in that area. So I ask you to please do something over there. I'm paying a monthly payment for a device in my yard to keep the bears, the deer, the raccoons, and all of that from visiting in my yard. And I should not have to live like that. I'm 80 years old, and I should not have to live like that. Thank you.
Thank
And
you.
right now, come election time, don't knock on my door.
Thank you, Ms. Dunkley. Thank
Mr.
you.
Mayor,
Yes.
let me say, I gave the fire department, they kudos. Let me also give the Natchez Police Department heads too, just because of the reason they got there, and modern technology is the cutting edge now. When they got there, the first thing they did, they deployed their drones. And we have drones now where they deployed their drones and they know exactly where the fire was at, when it was contained, and everything showed the fire. So the kudos out to the police department and fire department for working together. And as I stated earlier, it's a good thing that we caught it in time. If not, we'd have had to have fire department from Vidalia, wherever the closest one we could get help, because that is one big plant. People, let me explain this to you. They have 1 million square feet of space over there for the store stuff. Now, that's a big plant. So, like I say, again, thank you, Mr. Mayor. That's the end of my report.
Thank you, Alderman Frazier. Alderman, it was good to see you also and your wife and also Ms.
Excuse me,
Dunkley.
Mr. Mayor, I didn't know
Yes.
Ms. Harden.
We gave her permission.
Ma'am,
You gave her permission.
Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
Ms.
Go to the-
Harden, come on, come on, come
Yes,
on,
ma'am.
yes. If you
I'm sorry.
could, just a couple minutes, where we have a long agenda and it's already 12 o'clock. And we need your name.
I'm Deborah
Miss-
Coles Harden, 206 South Blueberry, Natchez, Mississippi.
you.
Okay. One of the things that I want to address concerning the fire situation, because most of the time when I come here, it concerns my property and the things there. So I understand that this plant is the city of Natchez property, if I'm not mistaken.
Correct.
Okay. And, like you all send out different citations for people who don't keep this up and don't keep that up on their property. I don't know if you all yourselves get a citation for the situation that is addressed over there. Okay. I noticed that when it's time for a movie, they clean up. Okay. Over there. All right. I noticed that there are times when we see the people, from Public Works come and do what they need to do. But I mean, it's not a continuation of things. Now, we have been down here concerning when they were trying to get a situation to get that plant again with a company, right? First of all, one of the times was when they had the trash situation and they wanted to bring the trash over there in the city. And also even about the storage of those trash bags, those trash cans over there. So those have been issues to me that have never really truly been addressed, okay? Now you had a situation that came up about, well, we're gonna have a plant, not a plant there, but we're gonna have a facility there. Now, anybody that's been over there at Armstrong and knows anything about that city knows that there's a lot of contamination over there. So we were given a certain amount of things, but I basically went and talked with people who were in Atlanta that came in and looked at that plant. It's asbestos on the outside windows of it, but we were told, as long as you can contain it and everything else. Now you got a fire. okay? And usually with a fire, what happens?
It's
spreading.
It's
And it's going, and it goes inside the building, outside the building, and all of that. You can smell the smoke over there now. You can smell those chemicals over there, okay? So, you know, we need to start, you all as owners, property owners of the tire plant, do something about it. You want us to do it, right? That's all.
Thank you, Ms. Harden. Thank you. Alderwoman
Ms.
Hall.
Harden, I totally agree with you, and I have addressed that in the past, that we cannot continue to ask the public sector to take care of their property and the city not our property.
That's right.
So I have addressed that.
Yeah.
I agree
Okay.
with you too, Ms. Harden.
Okay.
I do have an update. As I was going to say, Alderman Frazier, it was good to see you, and also you, Ms. Dunkley, and also Mrs. Frazier yesterday evening. I have been in touch with Trey Hess, who is our environmental engineer who consults with us on these. He's very familiar with the tire plant. And I have requested that he work with the Department of Environmental Quality to come and evaluate whether or not there are any new hazards that may exist as a result of the fire. The good news is Mr. Hess has reminded me that asbestos is not a flammable substance, so it does not burn. But I have asked that they come and do an inspection anyway. So we'll get that soon. I would agree. I'm very grateful to our fire department yet again, an expert response. As I shared with you, I'm very sad. We had an opportunity to work with a really great company just a few years ago, and we would have a total different situation if we could have gone down that path. The money they were going to put into the plant, the people they were going to employ, and the beautification they were going to do along Kelly Street. It was going to be Kelly Avenue. That was going to be a great thing for Natchez, but the community resisted it. We did not do it. And now here we are, with this situation. I was asked, I think, Ms. Dunkley, you asked me, how much is it costing? How is it possible that we're tearing down the Fry building? Well, the Fry building, we were able to obtain a grant. We actually have not had to incur any loan. We only did that in case we needed it. But it was just a much smaller project. I think we're spending about a little north of $700,000 on that project when it's all said and done. The tire plant is a poured-in-place concrete structure dating back to the 1930s, abandoned by Titan some years ago, and it came into the possession of the city, sadly. I have asked Mr. Hess to pursue grants to help us tear it down, but his word to me on the phone was, Mayor, we tried that, and unfortunately it's too big a project and we just can't find any grants. I said, well, look again. So I've asked them to look again, and we'll see, what comes of that. Also, we do have, as has been said, an amazing public works department. They do a lot with what they have, but that property is in a condition that would require their full attention for some weeks. I've discussed it with Mr. Dollar this morning. What we have done, and I've talked to Mr. Frederick Lane, whose company oversees security there, nighttime security. And he made a request. I've already got with Mr. Rudder, and we are getting a proposal to, again, fully secure the property, to board up any access, also to do an inspection of the perimeter fencing and to patch the fence where needed to keep individuals out of there. And then we will look at the other condition overall. We will, Ms. Dunkley, Alderman Frazier, Ms. Harden, thank you. Ms. Morris, thank you for being here. We'll do what we can do. We'll do what we can do. Yes,
Ms. Harden, you need to go back to the mic so they can hear you.
Ms. Harden, I can hear you because I don't think you're going to take too much time, are you?
But with the situation over there where you indicated that was going to be a company and everything else, of course, it wasn't registered with the state of Mississippi.
I don't know. We never revealed the name of the company. So that,
And just on
yeah.
the outside, because, just doing it on the outside for appearance, It's more than that. Now, when you talk about asbestos, you need to find out there are so many different kinds of them. And you can put something down and it will change where that asbestos goes and does not go. So like I said, I've even talked with the people in Atlanta and they did not do many of the outside parts of it, even the roof. They didn't have a ladder that was tall enough to go up to some parts of that building.
Yeah.
So you're gonna bring a company in that's supposed to be doing healthy stuff and producing healthy stuff, but on top of all of the other wrong things that
Ms. Harden, I don't wish to discuss that any further. That was 3 years ago. It did not pass. We did not do it. We've been looking for other opportunities ever since. We even re-engaged with that company. I will say we never released publicly the name of the company, so I don't know how any research could have been done on that company.
I think you said it.
But anyway,
You said
we
that. That's
it
how
was
the
going to
public
be a
knows.
health foods establishment. We're going to move on. Thank you. I've already said what I'm attempting to do, and we will do the best we can do. But I will say this also: we have spent money all over this town, and we don't discriminate in how we spend money. We spend money where it's needed, and we could look to many, many projects to prove that. Just the street project alone bears that out. The $6 million bond project we did on streets, and look at the improved streets. The recreational projects we've done at all of our parks and all of our city. We have more to do, yes, and we will continue. Alderwoman Smith.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just wanted to thank Tony Heidelberg for a wonderful national night out at his Gayosa event space. It was a really wonderful night in there. I think there were a lot of volunteers for several sororities as well. And there were Boy Scouts recruiting other kids, and it was just a really good night. So, and I think they did some recognition for our own chief. So that was nice too. But anyway, that's it for today. Thank you. And I missed the cookout at the police department because my phone died that day and I received no text because I was in the process of getting a new one. So I apologize for that. Maybe I know y'all do it often, so I'll try to make the next one. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Yes, that was a great event. It was. Alderwoman Irving.
Yes, sir. I want to begin. I'm just going to piggyback on the conversation with Fidelity Tire and the fire. But as I drove over and everything was out at that time, I contacted Alderman Frazier, and he and I had a conversation. But as I went on Rickman Street and just looked around the building, I mean, the overgrowth of grass, I mean, it has just taken over the fence. I mean, the residents that live there. And when you understand what you're dealing with that kudzu, the rain, the big foliage leaves that the kudzu have that holds water, and that's where mosquitoes can incubate. And you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 houses on that street. You know, you're looking at West Nile. We've had people to die in this community within the last recent years with West Nile. That's very possible when you look at a situation like that. And it's the overgrowth. You can't even see the back of the building. And you're saying that they're talking about securing the building. How can they get access to the back of it if you got grass everywhere? When I tell you the overgrowth of it, Mayor, it's unbelievable. The overgrowth of it the kudzu has come from out the bayou, up the railroad track. It's just and I said, I apologize to the residents because I had no idea, because it's always sprayed. And so I did share with them today that I would report that to our Natchez Public Works Department so that something can be done. And I know they will address it. But when I think of that building, I think that's code enforcement. That's something that we've hired people to come in to work to do, and not just for Fidelity Tire. We have a lot of city properties that are over there in that area. The lot at right near 50 South Concord, that needs to be addressed. Our trees on our property are impacting the neighbor's fence and growing through and causing problems. I know we have a tree law that hangs over, that if our limbs hang over on someone else's property, that's their tree. But in this case, we got to do our own housekeeping. We've got to do our own housekeeping. That can't happen. And so they go up and they do cut, but then you spray the limbs, spray the kudzu, but you leave the limbs hanging through the wires. That's still there. And so we got a lot of housekeeping to do. in that area. It's being unkept, and it has been that way for some length of time. I do know that the weather is extremely hot. I know it's been extremely hot, and we've had a lot of rain. Okay? But I'm speaking of this season, Ms. Toles. We've had a lot of rain that has caused that kudzu to grow extremely fast. Okay? And that is not kept at bay. But once we get there and spread, we can get the handle on it. But going inside of the building itself does need to be manicured, Mayor. It does. And that's, you're not going to have access to the building if it's not, because you have just that much of growth. I did take pictures. I can share them with you all while I was there.
I was there.
Okay. So you saw.
I go there all the time.
Okay. All right.
I've been in that neighborhood a dozen times just this past month.
Okay. Well, I'm there passing through every day myself, Mayor. However, when you go back on Rickman Street, that's when you have closer access to it, back there on Rickman Street.
I just have to say, this is why I work so hard to bring an economic development solution.
Okay.
But that was very angrily shot down.
I'm not,
And I'm,
Ms. Mayor,
and
this is
it's
my
a shame.
report. It's my report. What I want to say is this,
I
Mayor,
just have
I'm
to
not,
set the record straight.
but
All right,
it is,
Alderwoman
thank you,
Irving.
Mayor. It is my report. I do want to say this. This is not to bash absolutely anyone. This is to make people aware of what other members of this community is living with. So you have to live with this. And I understand your pain. I understand the fear of animals in your backyard when you wake up. Okay? Because I've experienced it recently myself. And I don't want that for myself nor for any member of this community, regardless to where you are. Regardless to where you are, we're to enhance the quality of life for all people. And so we don't discriminate with anything when it comes to this of such, because this is nature. And so what we have to do is do what? Find ways to come together. I'm going to reflect back on her conversation. When people have a conversation, they come together and they create a vision, a plan, and implement it, how we can make it better. And that's what we need to do now. That's what we need to do now. I also want to say over on South Concord Street, down near 10 South Concord, there is a dip in the road. It has a block. I don't know who it is, but Mr. Dollar, I'm going to ask you, will you please check to see if it's water, gas, and it's going to impact you traveling, because you got, for instance, it has.
May I?
No,
May I?
no, the area she's discussing is still there.
May I? May I?
Okay.
May I?
Alderman Frazier?
I think Mr. Dollar, we addressed that. I talked to him about that. He got back with me this week, and he said that the waterworks director and was getting together, and they're trying to get a plan together to fix that whole dip down there.
Okay.
Because you're gonna have to go into it and get it back out. Now, they did a little patchwork down there where the gravel at.
Mhm.
But Mr. Dollar informed me that him and Public Works Director is already on top of that.
Okay.
Because I had been reporting it for the last 2 or 3 months.
You
So
have.
now he called me and told me what he's doing.
Well,
I
when
just
you
want-
reported at our last meeting, I immediately got with Mr. Dollar and he said he was.
Yeah, and then he got back and he called me. I called him and talked to him, and he got back with me.
Alderwoman Irving?
Again, I'm not going to leave any stone unturned, because it is in my ward. And as I drive through, these are my things to report as well. So just to make sure it's taken care of. Okay, so I did on Rickman Street with the kudzu back there in that area, back near the bayou, number 1, Rickman. Also, what I'm seeing too is that when you go back there, you have kudzu has grown up the poles. We need a utility meeting. So that way we can kind of get this, who does what? Because I know Public Works can't do everything. You got kudzu growing through cable wires. You got kudzu growing through electrical wires. Public Works can't do all of this. So I know every department, the Entergy, cable, they have budgets. They have budgets. They should be the ones that do what affords some of these amenities to the public. If they're up, the neighbor shared with me that the light pole broke half in two because the kudzu was so heavy over there. Entergy replaced the light, placed another pole. But now they're saying, look at the wire, how the kudzu don't come back up the pole, and it's putting pressure on the wire now. So we got to do better housekeeping. We got to do better housekeeping within our community and report it. and report it. And I say
I
I'm
would say
speaking of
this is
the,
the first you've reported this to us. This is the first time in a couple years you've mentioned the tire plant to us. This is all in your ward. You
Not-
know my number. And as
Mayor,
we discussed yesterday.
I'm not
when I
doing this
call
for,
you,
as you
text,
like to say, this is for,
Please inform. I want you to know we've already had discussions with Public Works on Kazoo because it has been reported to us. Pictures have been provided, and I'm waiting on a follow-up on that.
okay, but it's kudzu everywhere, and I've reported
Oh,
too.
it's all over the South.
Yes, it is, but it's definitely in Natchez. And I'm not being rude, Mayor. I just want
No.
you to hear that because see,
I'm just
this
wanting
is
to
not,
make
not
sure.
personal. It's not personal. It concerns human lives.
Yes, but I want to say this. I'm the mayor of the city. I work with all the departments. The way the state law reads, and we're going to discuss this in a little while, is aldermen don't supervise the departments. The mayor does that.
I don't micromanage. I just
And
bring
if
it up.
you will call me with these issues, I'll be happy to report them because that is what I do for others. That's my job.
And I understand. I don't
Yeah.
micromanage your department, but I that's why I just
So
said maybe
just-
we need a utilities.
Just
meeting.
call me.
Okay.
That we went, 4 days? I was trying to get in touch with you the last few days.
And I was at a conference and I shared with you with that mayor and not,
Text.
that was in
Anyway,
reference to a
just-
meeting.
Just call or text me. Communication is the key to partnerships.
It is.
It's the key to
I agree
collaboration.
wholeheartedly, but that's one
But
time.
communication is
One
not,
time.
no, it's not. That
One
communication
time.
is not a
Oh my
one-sided
God, you're
thing.
gonna wear that thing. And yesterday it was 3-4 times in 15 minutes. You told me the same thing. And I get you
Alderman
loud and
Irving,
clear.
back to you. I
Thank
just
you.
wanted to be known, I can do a better job if the alderman will communicate with me. We can all do a better job.
Absolutely.
Back to you for your report.
Okay. So there's Rickman Street. So I've gotten that taken care of. Overgrowth of grass. Okay, and thank you to the Natchez Fire Department. Chief Best, I heard you were there as well. Thank you all for all your services that you provide. I do want to say that. And that ends my report.
Thank you, Alderwoman. Alderman Davis, your report.
Okay, this how it should work. When the issues get reported, our job is to solve these problems. I know everything don't get solved all the time, but we're working on these issues. I know I do my best to solve whatever issue my constituent send to me. I'm gonna just be honest up here. We've been lacking a lot of cohesion up here lately. I'm gonna tell you all y'all that. So, y'all seem not to be working together no more. We used to work together. We need to get back on that same accord and working together.
I agree.
Y'all lost the cohesion up here. And I noticed that everybody up here got their own agenda, but my agenda is to take care of people. I don't have no special agenda. That's why I've been elected to take care of the city of Natchez. And also, all our departments, they doing well. The department head, they doing well, but ain't nobody perfect.
No.
I can tell you ain't nobody perfect. But you said, Mayor, I just heard you say we can't tell the department head nothing.
Oh, I didn't say that.
Okay.
I just said you can't
but I'm
manage
be honest with
rumors.
you. They ain't trying to run the departments. They ain't trying. They just want things to happen for the community. That's all they trying to do. They're not trying to run no departments.
Right.
Because I ain't gonna let them run no department. I don't think we control the money.
That's it.
And we're gonna control that money. Also, when I was on my way in to the board meeting, I seen energy and public work. They was out there cutting vines and stuff, limbs the day. I seen that happen today on my way in.
What area?
In my ward.
Okay.
In my ward. There's over there cutting. But and also I attended Natchez have a new like a traveling football league for the kids, and three different teams we got in this area, and they go all over the state and to other states. And I attended the game this weekend. My grandson, he played with one of the teams, but I seen the mayor. He didn't see me though. He showed me. I was up in the box. Yeah, but he brought something to the football players and stuff, the kids, because it was hot out there.
It was hot.
And I don't see how you do it, man. You with slacks and a long sleeve shirt and boots.
I was on my way to multiple things.
Name
So,
name the club. But that ends my report. That's all I had to say. And
thank you. I think what you said was right on target. Thank you, Alderman Davis. Alderman Maroney?
Thank you. We have tonight a neighborhood watch meeting at the Fellowship Hall of Parkway Baptist Church. All are invited from any ward. We discuss all sorts of things. I believe the police chief, the fire chief, the sheriff will all be there, as long as their schedules allow it. I think they're on the plan. I will be there. Any aldermen or city officials are also invited. Changing gears a little bit to the discussions we've been having on all these other things. Government is difficult. I've learned that. I've only been in office a little over 3 years, but I've learned in 3 years that government is very difficult. You've got an seemingly infinite number of requests and problems, and we have a very finite set of resources. We've got here our budget worksheets that we're going to be tackling today. We're in budget season. We've got to come up with a new budget. We've got all these requests and all these problems and all these things that everyone wants us to do all across this city. Long and short of it is we can't do all of it. We can't make everybody happy because we have a finite set of resources. Because people everybody complains about all these different things: potholes, kudzu, growth, traffic, crime, fires. We've got all these problems. But what's the other thing that everybody complains about? Taxes. The very thing that funds all of this. And we live in a community of a declining population. We used to be 22,000 in the city limits, I believe, back in the early 80s. Jerry, was that something like that? We don't have the tax base that we once had. We don't have the tax base we once had. But yet we have the same number of streets. All right? We've got the same number of fire stations. We need more police. We need more public works guys. Justin's got his hands full. Good Lord, in this climate, in this tropical climate during the summer, it's all we can do to keep it's all we can do to keep our grass mowed. I work on other stuff, land clearing and stuff during the winter when the grass isn't mowed. It doesn't have to be mowed. It is a nonstop battle for public works and recreation. They work some with that in some of the parks and thinning off the weeds and growth. So, like I said, government is difficult. We have to prioritize. We're going to be doing that at budget time. And all I can do is ask for patience from all of our citizens, all right, from all of our departments, from my fellow aldermen. There's a lot of give and take. But again, we have a finite set of resources, and we have to make difficult decisions of what problems we tackle and which problems we can tackle and which ones we need to tackle first. We have to prioritize, and sometimes everything doesn't get all the money that it deserves because it's not there. We can only spend what we have. We've done very well in this administration, I think, even before I got here, in getting grants. I know there are a number of people in this room that have worked very hard on getting grants for their departments. We've done a lot with a little. Luckily, we've been able to get some money from some outside sources to help because, quite frankly, our community, just from our tax base, we don't have the money that we need. Thank goodness we've got some good people getting us some extra money. So my last thought, be patient as we work through this budget process. We are trying to do the very best we can with what we have, but what we have is limited.
Thank you, Alderman Maroney. I'm sorry I can't recognize people from the floor without a motion of the Board of Aldermen.
We'll talk later, Jerry.
Okay. We've already had, that 5 minutes was a while ago, but thank you.
That's an item I hadn't gotten to.
Thank you. Well, all right, we will now move to the city clerk's report.
Okay,
Madam Clerk, you're recognized.
thank you. First item is a request for approval of the first August 2026 claims docket.
What is the pleasure of the board? Motion made by Alderwoman Smith,
Second.
seconded by Alderwoman Hall. Discussion. Yes, Alderwoman Irving.
Okay, I just want to look at page 6 in the claims docket. And we have all these totals coming from here. And this is a budget. Megan, we're gonna look at our budget status report. I'm gonna bring this to your attention. Because, okay, all
Okay.
right.
All right.
Let me see, there was one other page here
Yes.
too. Maggar Industries,
MagCorp? Yes.
that's
Yeah,
the
it
C,
used to-
Magcor.
previously it was Prison Industries. Those are the historic district signs. The rest of the signs came
Okay.
in.
Okay, all right, that was the other one.
All right. Anything else?
No,
Any further discussion? We'll call for the question. All in favor of the motion, indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. The ayes have it, motion carries. Next item.
Next item is a request for approval of the first August 2026 mini claims docket.
Pleasure of the board. Motion made by Alderwoman Hall. Do I have a second?
second,
Second by Alderwoman Irving. Call for the question. Do we have any discussion?
no,
Call for the question. We'll proceed to a vote. All in favor of the motion indicate by saying aye.
aye.
All opposed, nay. The ayes have it, motion carries. Next item.
Next item is a request for approval of the July 2026 personnel report.
It's the pleasure of the board.
So moved.
Motion made by Alderwoman Irving, seconded by Alderwoman Hall. Discussion?
Yes,
Yes.
well, I guess I can do this. I'm looking here at the hiring fire and I'm looking at, resign. Is that the new person that we've hired? Resign? And
We have had someone who was hired and
in
it
recreation?
didn't work out.
Okay, so that's
And it
what
didn't
that
work
is?
out.
Yes.
Okay, all right.
All right. Any further discussion? We'll call for the question.
Call.
We'll proceed to a vote. All in favor of the motion indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. The ayes have it, motion carries. Next item.
Okay, next item is a request for approval of travel for the mayor and board of aldermen to attend the MML Small Towns Conference in Hattiesburg, October 8th and 9th.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Alderwoman Irving, seconded by Alderman Davis. Discussion. Call for the question.
Call.
We'll proceed to a vote. All in favor of the motion indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay.
And I got some things out of order, so I'm gonna kind
The ayes
of,
have it, motion carries.
sorry, I'm gonna kind of put these back in order from what's on the agenda. Next item is a request for approval of travel for the mayor, Alderwoman Smith, and Alderwoman Hall to attend the MML Board of Directors Executive Committee meeting in Starkville, September 17th through the 18th.
So moved.
Motion made by Alderwoman Irving, seconded by Alderman Davis. Yes, Alderwoman
You
Smith.
can take mine. I'm not going to be able to attend that.
Okay.
Thank you, David.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thanks.
all right. Any further discussion? We'll call for the question.
Call.
All in favor of the motion indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. The ayes have it, motion carries. Next item.
Next item is a request for approval for Pam Patterson to provide temporary deputy city clerk services as an independent contractor to the city clerk's office.
Second.
Motion made by Alderwoman Hall and seconded by Alderwoman Irving. This is due to the absence of other personnel and the need to keep this going for just the next, how long?
Really just looking for a few weeks. So I had someone out on vacation and already short-staffed. She kind of filling in and helping during that time. And then the hire for that long-term replacement is due to start next week. So I would like for her to spend a couple of weeks in helping get that person properly trained for a smoother transition.
Okay, all right, Alderwoman Smith.
So is this about an hour? And
Yes, so it'd be as an independent contractor, and there was an agreement put, in y'all's, packets, as to what that hourly rate and all.
That's right, that's right.
And it's just a temporary, short term to make sure that we get that position trained and cover our staffing shortage until then.
All right, any further discussion on that motion? Everyone's been given the agreement. The motion's been made. The question will be called. Okay, we'll proceed to a vote. All in favor of the motion indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. The ayes have it, motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you. I've got, the final two items kind of go hand in hand, but I guess we'll do a separate motion for each one. The first is the approval of the invoice from Lewis Law Firm in the amount of $4,000. This was for the title examinations for 8 properties under the home grant project that Mississippi Planning and Development District has been assisting with. The city will pay these, and then Lynette with Southwest Planning and Development will be applying or submitting for reimbursements on these. I think at this point, we are looking at 2 of these possibly not qualifying for reimbursement because there were some title issues on the properties and they may not qualify to proceed with the program. So I do want to let you all know that.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Alderman Davis, seconded by Alderwoman Hall. Discussion? We'll call for the question. We'll proceed to a vote. All in favor of the motion indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. The ayes have it, motion carries. Next item.
Excuse me. Next and final item is a request for approval of the invoice for the Southwest Mississippi Planning and Development District for the environmental clearance related to the 8 properties previously discussed under the home grant.
It's the pleasure of the board.
So moved.
Motion made by Alderman Davis,
Second.
seconded by Alderwoman Hall. Discussion? We'll call for the question. We'll proceed to a vote. All in favor of the motion indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. The ayes have it, motion carries. Thank you. Does that conclude your report?
That does. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Mr. Attorney, do you have a report today?
Very briefly, Mr. Mayor, we've been working carefully with the city clerk and Scott Slover on the memorandum of agreement for workforce development. The county has agreed, the city has agreed, and at this point, we're waiting for the Natchez Adams school system to agree so we can get this in place and finalized quickly as possible.
Have you, will you be talking to Mr. Kingsley, the attorney for the board at the NASD?
Yes, I had an email exchange with Mr. Keenly this morning, and we're waiting to hear back from him and Mr. Amos James.
Okay, all right. I would appreciate it. Thank you for the report. If you'll continue to see that through to state approval so we don't have any surprises moving forward with
That
that
concludes my report.
agreement. Thank you very much. Thank you. We will now move to my report, and I want to have a bit of a budget discussion here. No, we didn't have our special call meeting earlier because of some conflicts. And really, looking back on it, I think that was just as well. After the meeting, we had our department directors meeting this morning. We discussed a number of items pertaining to the budget. I do want to say, I believe everyone has the budget worksheets prepared by our city clerk. I want to commend our city clerk on a very good job, thorough job as always, very easy to follow. She has been doing this year after year, and I must say, we're grateful to have you, Madam Clerk. This is the hardest time of the year for you. It's the hardest part of your job, but we're extremely grateful for the hours and hours you put in to make it easier for the rest of us. As we have seen from year to year, we have challenges. As you said, Alderman Maroney, limited resources for an unlimited list of requests. And that really is true.
Yeah.
But I want to just say that looking at, first of all, we always start with our current year before we go to our future year to just see how we're doing. And I have some good news to share, and that is that for our projected fiscal year 26 budget, we only have a couple months left. Actually, the end of September, this budget year will end. And we are projecting that our revenues will be very close to what we have budgeted, our expenditures very close to what we have budgeted. And we are projecting a positive fund balance for this current year, as we have had every year. I can only go back to the year I became mayor, but going back to that year, 2020, we have managed to maintain a budget surplus every year. We have abided by state law, which means we can't be in a deficit, and we have not been. I also want to say that we have managed to do a lot of things within our means. Those limited resources, being that we have not increased our millage rate here in the city since 2016. And so here we are 10 years without a millage rate increase. No one else in our area can say that. No one else in this county. We have the lowest, if you look at your statement, the city portion of the taxes you pay are the lowest portion, and it continues to be, even though I think we actually have the most responsibility laid on us for police and fire protection and all of the things that we manage and do within the city. The public works list is infinite at all times, seems to be. I also want to make this statement. Overall revenue, our general fund generally around 20 million. Our excess, that is a lot of grants that go into departments such as our transit department. Our overall revenue around 32 million. Of that, the actual tax portion, 6.97 million in ad valorem, 1.5 million in the internet sales, up a little bit, sales tax. That is the internet sales tax of the state of Mississippi enacted in 2019. We're very grateful for that. It helps us to do public works projects. By statute, those taxes have to be spent on equipment and infrastructure on our streets and within our street and public works departments. Now, sales tax, we're really grateful for that, 5.5 million. But you add that up and you'll see that that's just a portion of the 32 million that's our overall revenue. I don't know what we do without the grants, the federal appropriations. And yes, we have been spending money. Indebtedness has been mentioned. As you'll recall, in 2021, it was determined that we had some major needs with regard to our streets, our buildings, our parks. We did a $6 million bond for our streets. We did a $3 million bond for the convention center, auditorium, and civic center. And we did another $4 million in recreation bonds. That constitutes, I believe, the largest part of the debt that the city shows. And each one of those bonds is on a very organized plan for retirement in future years. For example, the bond that we did for public properties will actually be retired next year. And we're excited to see that bond being retired. We also are very grateful that we did these bonds in 21 before rates went up. And we have not done any bonds since those initial bonds. That constitutes, however, a very small percentage. A big percentage of what we do has to do with grants we receive. Just today, we talked about grants for Fine Avenue. The Briarwood project is about to commence, all because of grants. The grants are numerous. Natchez and our partners in the first 4 years of this administration successfully brought in over 100 million in federal and state grants. A big portion of that for the city alone, others for our partners, ranging from the airport to the Park Service to the Board of Supervisors and others, we now are getting even more multi-million dollars in grants. And that is a big part of that overall revenue. And that is what has made the budget increase over the last few years. It hasn't increased because of taxes. It's increased because of that budget revenue. Also, I must say in taxes, we do receive casino taxes, and casino funds do help with our community development funding that by and large has been helping with our recreation program. Since 2020, we reestablished the Department of Parks and Recreation here without increasing taxes, a department that had not existed in the form we know it since 2008. We're really grateful. We're doing a lot in spite of the challenges. And I do also want to point this out. Our millage is not increased, and any of the increases we see in collections are due to new development. We have, since 2020, we have actually issued a record number of permits for a six-year period, 1,448 building permits totaling 131.8 million in new construction. Now, this doesn't include more to come with what's happening at Tracetown, what we hope will happen next year north of Walmart, and also the Eola project. And it also does not include other residential projects that are on the board. We actually have one being considered and going before our planning commission next week, a major residential project for Natchez. And it will be the first residential development we've seen of its kind in many, many, many years. So the reason I'm sharing this is as we look at our limited budget, I think it's important to understand that we do have opportunity in the future to see our revenue grow if we can grow tourism, if we can continue to see more businesses open. Just a report I was just handed, since 2020, we have issued 515 new privilege licenses for new businesses. The jobs associated with those new businesses, 1,200. Now, that does not include some of what we're seeing at the industrial park and exciting things happening, not only with the announcement last week, but more announcements to come. When we can see that kind of economic growth, I believe it shows we are on a good trajectory. We'll say this, the department directors, we all met this morning and we discussed the budget. Going forward, we have this dilemma every year. We generally will start the budget process with 2 million or more in excess requests from what we have available to budget. And we can't have a budget with a $2 million deficit. It's against the law, and we're never going to be able to do that anyway. So as we do every year, we ask the department directors to prioritize the budgeting process. And so this morning, we asked them to take the rest of the week until noon on Friday to submit to the clerk suggestions on how to cut their budget requests and a prioritized listing of their budget requests so that then the city clerk can have a few days to assimilate that into the budget worksheet and have something that's a little tighter for us to have going forward. I'll entertain questions at the end. I want to make sure I give this overview, and if I have not answered your question by the time of this overview, we'll get into those questions then. So we expect we'll have something from our department directors by noon on Friday for the city clerk to then go in and make more revisions, which hopefully then sometime next week will give us a revised budget worksheet that she can then present to everyone in a special call meeting. I will say this, if you look at last year, we had this same dilemma. We had to cut over 2 million to finally get to the balanced budget that we enjoy today. And when I told you a minute ago, I want to reiterate that our revenues are tracking very close to budget. Our expenditures very close to budget. We are going to end this year with a surplus. In spite of what was said a couple weeks ago, it seems like a couple years ago, about the state of our budget, no, we're actually going to end up again in the positive, not in the negative. Now, some departments are over, some departments are under. We have had some cost savings, and this results in the overall fund balance. Now, of course, we always have money that we have to move here and there. And we do know that we had some discussion 2 weeks ago about the fact that when Chief Best came into the police department as our chief back in the spring, he came into a department that was already tracking over budget, and that has been the case. But I have some good news to share there. Without going into our unrestricted reserves, without dipping into major funds that we have to safeguard, we're able to balance this year's budget. And as of today, we actually have a better investing in public safety than we've had in years. We have more full-time officers than we've had in years. We actually are showing overall staff now of 53, and that is more than we've had in years. We actually now are looking and we are seeing the overtime trending so that overtime is now trending less than it's trended in a number of years. Why? Because we have more officers. We're able to work those officers full-time. We have very few, if any, part-time officers now. And this is resulting in less overtime because officers aren't having to work as much overtime because we have more officers. So the future for public safety here is really good. I'm very grateful for that. Also, we've had some challenges that are beyond our ability to control. The Mississippi legislature, if you'll recall, has mandated that all cities start increasing the contribution they make for PERS, the Public Employee Retirement System. This year, our budget has a 0.5% increase in the PERS contribution. That is more money out of the city budget beyond our ability to control. And we can plan on that happening every year between now and the year, 2030. Madam Clerk, I don't know what dollar amount that represents, but it's a very large, it's a large dollar amount. We'll have that for our future budget conversations. Also, we are every year in a city so old, we are constantly having to address our aging infrastructure. And if you see Natchez Waterworks out, sadly cutting into some of our newly paved streets, and I hate to see it, it's because of our aging infrastructure. Every time you see them, that's a cost. Now that comes out of the waterworks budget, not our overall budget, but it's still a cost. Every time you see Public Works out there working on something like Alderwoman Hall mentioned, the terrible cave-in we had on Briarwood, that is a cost. Every time you see them out working, period, it's a cost. We have had a lot of infrastructure to repair over the city over the last year. And some of these, they're items that we struggle to budget for because you can't anticipate, you try, and then it may end up being 3 times what you're budgeted. Those are always challenges. But I would say without tax increases with the same millage rate and the only indebtedness being the bonds that I just mentioned, we have had other indebtedness when you consider our new fire truck, some of our new vehicles. We have had to replenish our fleet of vehicles, but those are actually leases for police and fire and other departments. But when we look at all of that, do you realize in the last 6 years, we fully renovated the convention center, the city auditorium, the Civic Center, this building, a beautiful upstairs that was inhabitable just a few years ago, the city hall, our police department, fire departments. That's a phase one. We're working on looking at federal and state money for a phase two for fire department, police department. We have completely renovated every park, new tennis courts at Duncan Park, new and improved baseball fields, and we have almost 300 children now playing baseball that weren't able to play on those fields just a few years ago. We look at the renovation of the Duncan Park Golf Clubhouse and a phase two about to start, the renovation of the North Natchez Youth Center, and more to come. I'm going to mention that in just a few minutes. When you consider the 55 streets that we've resurfaced, finishing up right now, finally, the resurfacing of Canal and Homochitto, finishing up this year, the resurfacing of Morgantown Road. When you consider also that we have managed to, in the last 6 years, give 3 raises to Public Works, 2 to our fire department, 2 to our police department, and another raise to everyone, trying to compete with the private sector who have gone up. We haven't raised taxes. Has the private sector raised anything at the gas pump? Have they raised anything at the grocery store? Have they raised anything in private contracting services? I'm even paying more. I'm even paying more just to buy the basics. And I'm talking about toilet paper, paper towels, cleaning supplies. And I'm not the only one doing it. I think everybody's doing it. And so, unlike the private sector, we have raised our salaries and we have raised the level of service. We've done all of this without a single tax increase since 2016. Now, we do talk about the assessments. The city doesn't do the assessments. The county does the assessments. But I will tell you, looking at our ad valorem collections, what we're collecting is, I believe, based on all of that new development taking place. You're going to have more ad valorem collection when property values are going up, when new buildings and new houses are being constructed. And that's the principle of good government, not to raise revenue through tax increases, but to raise revenue through economic development. And that's what's happening. That's what's happening. And I will never apologize to anyone that your property values have increased. We know property values have increased here because of the economic activity. But if we want to go back to where our assessments were low because property values were down in the basement because nothing was going on in Natchez, I don't care to go backwards with you. I think it's really great to go forward. And now I do want to make this comment. We have a lot of decisions to make over the next few weeks. Our city clerk is there. Any questions you have, any discussion you have. Our department director is going by Friday, going to be helping her to sharpen the pencil. And I do want to look at everyone's schedules for next week. I'm thinking, Madam Clerk, you might have a revised budget worksheet for us, maybe by midweek next week.
That will be the hope.
That'll be the hope. And so we can begin to look at having a special call budget meeting next week. We'll have another one at, I would say, 5 o'clock before our 6 o'clock meeting, our second meeting of this month. We will. I'm willing to have the meeting at 4:30 if we need more time for discussion, but that's up to y'all.
4:30 sounds good to me.
4:30 sounds good to me.
Motion that we meet at 4:30.
4:30? Let's have one motion for both. I'd like to also go ahead and set a special call for next week.
Mr. Frazier will not be here for our second board meeting.
Okay.
And every board member has to be present.
That's
for
correct.
Budget hearings.
All right, well, let's look at next week and let's find a time we can meet there, and we'll continue going from meeting to meeting. I would say that next Thursday at 4:30 would be a good time. That's on August the 20th. I think that would give the city clerk ample time to have discussions with all of you, with department directors, and to have a revised worksheet for us. Would that work? Alderwoman
I don't know if it will for me, but
I won't be here.
it's not a budget hearing. These are just meetings.
These are
So
just meetings.
they're not
They aren't budget
required,
hearings.
And I do a lot of discussion with the city clerk. So if for some reason I can't, it's fine.
Yeah, okay. Now we could do it Wednesday at 4:30, but it's just,
The 19th.
we could do it the 19th or,
Y'all are.
okay.
Really
The clerk is
complicated.
saying Thursday at 4:30. She needs that extra day to make sure she
Wednesday
can get
is
ready
just
for us.
really
Yeah.
pushing.
Okay.
Me to be able to get that done.
Thursday at 4:30. On the 20th will be our special call.
That's when Alderman Fraser said he couldn't be here.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant our next regular meeting.
Well,
next meeting.
he did, but he just said too, that we next Thursday.
Well, we've got to get the budget done and
We'll have multiple meetings.
it's hard. We can have multiple meetings.
Thursday, the 20th.
Thursday, the 20th at 4:30, we'll run out of time if we,
We do have to have.
and we can always meet with Alderman, the clerk and I can meet with Alderman Fraser one-on-one if we need to. We can meet with any of you one-on-one if we need to. So let's go with next Thursday at 4:30. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Motion made by Alderwoman Hall, seconded by Alderwoman Irving. Discussion? We'll call for the question.
Call.
We'll proceed to a vote. All in favor of the motion indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. The ayes have it, motion carries. So we'll have a meeting next Thursday at 4:30. And
Do you
then
need to clarify the setting?
we will have it right here. Mhm. All of our budget meetings are held here, and they're all open to the public. Now, our next board meeting is on the 25th of August, and I would like to suggest a 4:30 budget meeting before the 6 o'clock meeting.
So moved.
Motion made by Alderwoman Hall, seconded by Alderman Davis.
Yeah.
So now we'll have discussion. We'll call for the question.
Call.
We'll proceed to a motion. All in favor of the motion indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. The ayes have it, motion carries. Well, we have a lot of work to do. Now, do you have any comments, questions?
I was just gonna ask.
Yes,
Mayor,
Alderwoman
Did
Irving.
you say we had an increase in sales tax?
Oh, I'm just saying that the internet sales tax went up some.
No, I said the sales
The
tax.
actual sales tax, we haven't obviously completed this
Oh, okay.
budget year. I will say,
But there's
I'm a little concerned because ever since gas prices went up because of the war, we've seen this across the nation. And I'm hoping we'll see, we collect in arrears, 2 months in arrears. And I'm waiting to see, we're in the month of August, so I'm waiting to see what June and July will look like on our sales tax to see if we've had some slowdown there. Because that is what's being reported across the country is a slowdown in the economy because of gas prices. So we won't just say Alderwoman Hall.
I would like for, when the department heads meet with the clerk, to consider those who are going to be receiving raises.
Oh, certainly. In fact,
We have people who have not gotten it, and we've already so discussed some who need to be increased.
thank you, Alderwoman Hall. We actually discussed that in our department director meeting, understanding though that to make raises happen, we have to have cuts in other areas. But that definitely is something that we have discussed this morning. Thank you. We do have some employees who have been overlooked for a while. I think we'll do our best to look at those. Any further discussion? Any further comments? Well, thank you very much. Alderman Fraser, as I understand it, you can't be here next Thursday.
That's correct.
Alderman Fraser, we determined we had to go ahead with the meeting at 4:30 next Thursday, and I think you had stepped out. But I want to make this offer. I can sit down with you with the city clerk as the three of us anytime you'd like.
Okay.
Okay? You just let us know a time that works for you. If If there's a time available to you, latter of next week, if not, early part of the week after. And then we are going to have another budget meeting at 4:30, preceding our next regular board meeting at 6. All right. Well, I thank y'all so much. We didn't get into the weeds. That will come, but right now we've got to have the weed eater at work before we get into the weeds. We got to whack a few weeds before we get into them. All right. I thank everyone for that. Good discussion. We have a matter that we do need your approval on. This matter has just come out of the blue. As you know, our former coordinator director of the workforce went to work for the county. Tawana Williams is our county administrator. We appointed, with the agreement of our other partners, we appointed Lakeisha Davis. And we are gearing up. That we're so excited. This is entirely funded by grants. The grants come to the city at the current time. In the future, we're going to be partnering with Colin, but they come to us from the Delta Regional Authority, and Ms. Davis has informed me that they have the instructors in place, but they can't teach the classes without the instructors being and I'm going through these right now, without the instructors being contracted with the program. So we have to take care of this. The contracts are just as they were before. The instructors that we have here are all for the carpentry. That's Mr. Ralph Daniel. The electrician program, Mr. James Matthews, and electrician, Mr. Willie Ellis. We also, according to the grant and the agreement with the school, we're going to have these at the Options Academy, which is now the Daisy C. Newman Performing Arts Center. Classes are in the morning and also evening to accommodate the people who work and people with various schedules. So the grant will have to provide for a custodian to assist in keeping the school clean. Carolyn Slack Miles has been proposed as the contractor with a described program for a maximum of 32 weeks and a maximum of for cleaning over the 32 weeks of $2,550. So we need your approval on these contracts pending the board attorney's approval of the contracts.
So move.
A motion made by Alderwoman Irving and seconded by Alderman Davis. Discussion? I'll say this will make way for the program to begin. Orientation is this Friday, and I believe, is this Friday the 13th?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So Friday the 13th will be orientation, and then the classes will begin on Monday, the 15th, and I'm sorry, the 16th. And we really need to continue to get the words out. They are accepting applications for the next couple of days, but the window will close. And we have carpentry, we have
14th.
Plumbing.
14th.
Friday is the 14th. I got my calendar wrong. So it will be then the 14th, 15th, so 17th will be the first classes. I want to just make sure we're getting this news out. Very limited window to get registered. We have electrical, we have carpentry, we have plumbing, we have heavy equipment, we have heavy equipment. I'm leaving out something.
Welding?
No.
Welding's already offered through CoLim. That's another offering, but in this building trades program, those are the options we have. So it's a great opportunity for our people to get this great education at no cost to them. Where else in the state? One of the very few programs that we've been able to build in the whole state of Mississippi, one of the very few that's available free of charge to our citizens. So now we'll call for the question. We'll proceed to a vote. I don't think we voted on the motion, did we?
No, you did not.
All in favor of the motion indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. The ayes have it, motion carries. All right, I do have an update for you on recreation projects.
Mr. Mayor, excuse me,
Yes,
we need security.
I just see this. This is security for the Options Academy, and I overlooked it. Alderwoman Hall, thank you. This is with FSA Enterprise LLC, and this will provide security during the classes. This is according to the same rate structure we've always used with FSA. I'll need a motion to approve the security contract. Motion made by Alderwoman Irving,
Second.
seconded by Alderwoman Hall made the motion. I was looking at you, Alderwoman Irving. Alderwoman Irving seconded the motion. All in favor of the motion indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Motion carries. Update on recreation projects. So just a few weeks ago, we had members of the public here representing the NAACP, asking that we would have an existing facilities report done of North Natchez Park. I want to report that process has begun, but also I wanted to say in addition to that, they requested, it's a good report. We can bring you up to date a little later. Thank you, Alderwoman Irving. Be careful going back to work. I'm very excited about, but first let me get this out of the way. They did ask that I get with leadership with the Natchez Adams School District to discuss the condition of the old Robert Lewis Middle School and what could be done there to bring it into our recreational program. So I did meet with Superintendent Zandra McDonald and also the Assistant Superintendent Tony Fields. And they respectfully asked that we not include Robert Lewis in this discussion because of the condition of Robert Lewis, because of the condition of the gym, because of the condition of the roof over the gym, that there are just too many variables, and they just would rather not have that building included in the discussion at this time. However, they did invite us to include discussion of the baseball field. It's all overgrown now, but there is an old baseball field just behind North Natchez Park, just to the north of the park. So I want to compliment our Director of Parks and Recreation. Ryan Porter has been very busy putting together a starting place. It's a report that then will save us some time and money when the professional is engaged. We've had a professional already look at the report and said it's possibly the best facilities report he's ever seen in recreation. And that's saying something. It really is. And so what we have determined at North Natchez Park, the good things, the youth center that we restored 4 years ago is in excellent condition. Now, we did note that there is some paint peeling in a few limited areas on the dormer, ceiling of the porch, around the side. And Mr. Rudder has already been instructed to get with Smith Painting and Contracting, the contractor on that project, to see about getting the touch-ups made. It is a painted wood structure in this climate, and things are needed. It has been 4 years. In addition to that, we're looking at a gentle cleaning of the building. But the building's in beautiful condition, and to go inside, and it is being utilized and people are enjoying it for various events. The bathroom facility that we renovated is in good condition. The challenge, however, is that we have had homeless individuals and others really wreaking havoc on those restrooms, other restrooms and other parks as well. So we're looking at a strategy for how we can better manage those bathrooms so that they can be available to the public and not closed because they're being literally trashed by others who aren't doing the right thing. The pavilion is in good shape. Our restoration of the pavilion 3 years ago is holding up very well. The pavilion's in very good shape. The playground, the new playground, is in very good shape. We restored that playground in 2021, really good shape. We have an opportunity with the splash pad, and what we think is going to come is a recommendation for a full restoration of the splash pad, but also protecting the splash pad inside a fenced structure to make it inaccessible to vandals, to individuals wanting to drive their vehicles up on it, to clean the undercarriage of their cars. That is what's happened in the past. So we're looking at that. With regard to the tennis courts, this board has already voted to resurface those tennis courts. We are looking at doing something where we could both stripe them, as has been recommended by individuals. I think this idea actually came from Mr. Henry Harris and Mr. Bert Hughes, that we could stripe them, and they're both usable for tennis and for pickleball. So that would help us to get a youth pickleball program going at North Natchez Park. It is having great success across the country in addressing situations in inner cities. And it's addictive to children, young people, and can help get them off of the street. So we're going to look at that, a multi-use pickleball tennis facility at the existing tennis courts there. Also, the old goals, they are very old steel goals. We looked at replacing them when we were renovating the park in 21, but we would have to do major destruction to pull them out. So we instead painted them. If we're going to replace them, we have to take them totally out of the ground. The concrete has to be redone. But I have asked you, Mr. Porter, I'm still not convinced that a welder couldn't do a saw cut and we could have some replacement of goals that way. We have a great opportunity. We have a great opportunity there to also put a pavilion covering over the basketball courts, where we could have ceiling fans, we could have lighting, and we could have protection from the elements, from the heat, from the sun of the day, and also have some special events there. Now, I want to move on. We have expanded this. We have long wanted to do more, and the baseball field definitely want to get that up and going at North Natchez Park. We've all long wanted to do more, and so we are now looking for land, and possibly land that could be donated to the city. We may have a parcel right now that we can consider, not ready to say it what it is yet, but it would allow us enough room to actually build a gymnasium that would be available to the public. That would also have room not only for indoor basketball and other sports, but for activities for our community, such as aerobic classes, yoga, and so on. Also, this same land could accommodate a city-owned pickleball facility. So we're looking into that. And then we're also looking at ways where we could create another baseball field at Duncan Park to accommodate our smaller baseball players and free up, Carol Jones and the others for the older players. That would also require modernization of those fields, better lighting, better stands, concessions. Obviously, what I'm talking about here is a lot of money. I'm going to get to that in a moment. But it would also allow us to go further with baseball. What we have been looking for in the city is an area large enough for a cloverleaf for baseball. We can't find anything. Our city is very hilly. We have lots of rain here. But we benefit from our sister city, Vidalia, having a baseball facility there. It's a great cloverleaf. And whenever tournaments come to Vidalia, guess where most of them stay? Right here in Natchez. So we need to just continue to support Vidalia and what they're doing with baseball tournaments. But we still have an opportunity for tournaments for the younger players here at Duncan Park. Now, we are still looking for an area for soccer. That's a challenge. And also for softball. That's a challenge. So we may need to talk to the county. They have some space at Liberty Park or the school district. One way or another, those areas need to be answered. We're working on this very quickly. Yes, Alderwoman.
Oh, this is good. When we had a meeting on this, however, we do not have employees at the tennis center. We do not have a full maintenance crew. We have one man in maintenance.
Yes. Yes.
And
we're working on that.
And it's time that
We're
it's
working on
filled
that.
because this has gone on too long. With
Yes.
one man in maintenance.
But if I could
Over years.
continue.
No, I'm just mentioning this. This-
We understand. We do. We understand. There have been some challenges there as well. Let me just say this, though, about the recreation plan. I've asked Mr. Porter to find us a consultant to help with this existing facilities report. But also, Mr. Porter has put together a small task force working with him, consisting of individuals who have been very involved in recreation out at Duncan Park. I believe we have had help from Mr. Hughes on behalf of tennis, also Royal Hill, who is also a member of the NAACP, who has extensive experience in recreation from when he worked for a program in Louisiana. We also are going to be having a small committee meeting very soon with these individuals, and also Alderwoman Hall as chair of our Recreation Committee, and Alderman Maroney as chair of our Public Properties Committee. The overall goal is to get this done quickly so that we'll know what our ask is, and then we're going to be going to Jackson. We're also identifying a number of grants that can be written, and I really believe we can do this for Natchez, and it can be a legacy project for all of us, for our families, for our children. And so I'm pretty excited. Wanted to share that update. There are other things that we will share later as we get more into it, also dealing with strategies for funding. And I do want to say we are hopeful that this overall recreation plan could meet with real support in our community. This community has a history of supporting recreation. If you'll recall, going back to 2009, there was a referendum on education. A vast majority of our citizens said they would even support more taxes if that's what it took to pay for recreation. Well, I'm not saying that the city is going to increase taxes, but there are options available to us through the Mississippi legislature. For instance, if we wanted to have a limited sales tax assigned, 1% assigned to recreation for the next few years, just to get this going. Also, there are a number of grants available to us through the U.S. Tennis Association, through the National Basketball Association, even baseball and others. So we'll be kicking the tires on a lot of grants. I know that was a long report, but I wanted everyone to hear it for the first time here, because I didn't want it to be said that we have not been working. And we are going to be asking Mr. Hill on our behalf, and I'd be happy to attend as well, to give this report to the NAACP, because they've been very interested in North Natchez Park. I do have one misnomer I want to correct. It has been said that, oh, the city's finally doing something for our parks. No, this has been an ongoing strategy that we've had in mind since 2020. And we actually, I want to remind everyone, just 2 years ago in my second inaugural address, I mentioned a good bit of this. We've got to have more for our children, for our families. It's just taking the time to figure it out, to get the money straight. But anyone who would go to North Natchez Park and say that we haven't done enough, just go and look at the pictures of what it would
I
look
say you
like
hadn't done enough.
in 2020.
My ward.
And if we need to, we can put the pictures up
Put them up.
of
Let
the
me see.
playground that we had to remove because it was unsafe, of the pavilion that was leaking because the roof was in such terrible condition, of the bathroom facility that was not fit for children, it was only fit for snakes. And that's true. And a youth center that was covered in graffiti and totally covered in plywood with rotten wood all through it. We have done a lot, but we have more to do, and we're going to keep on doing it.
Mr. Mayor, let me say.
Yes, Alderman Frazier.
We do have a whole lot to do over there.
Yes,
And
sir.
I beg your difference on some of the stuff that you said, but we are trying to progress over there. And one thing that I'm just gonna bring out right quick, I beg your difference on the basketball court. You're gonna have to tear those, don't put those metal backboards up there again.
Oh, no.
They've been up
We
there
won't
50
need boards.
years. 50 years they've been up there longer. We need to, what I could suggest at the meeting is that you tear them basketball goals down, put new ones in, redo the surface, and then like, as you stated earlier, which is an excellent idea, you can put a top over there. You don't need them. We don't need all those basketball goals. We just need 2 courts over there with a pavilion on top.
Okay,
And
thank
I think if you do that, you might get elected again.
All right, I'm going to quote you on that. I'll hold you to it. But let me say this about those basketball goals. As I said, we won't need basketball goals for sure. But I do want to make sure we talk to a welder to see if anything can be cut on those poles and anything new welded to them.
We waste our money.
And if we're wasting our money to that, then we're just going to have to tear them out, redo the concrete. That's an expensive thing, but we'll have to figure a way to do it. Yeah.
Mr. Mayor.
Alderman
we have,
yes, sir.
We have a gentleman in here who knows the whole thing, and that's Mr. Lewis Davis. He can tell you all about the basketball goal you sent. This guy, he must play professional college basketball.
And Mr. Davis, wouldn't it be great for us to not only have a pavilion at North Natchez Park, but also to have a gymnasium available to the public? We've got a lot to figure out, but I really want to figure out a way to get it done. Miscellaneous updates. I do want to say, and I know, Alderman, you saw an item that I put at your desk. I just need to make sure, just to reiterate, it is something about state law, and I think everybody got handed one, yet I don't think I have one. Let me see. I do. I have it. So I just want to say this is something that is more and more an issue at cities across our state. Employees are getting harder and harder to come by. Good employees are getting harder and harder to come by. And that's why the state of Mississippi, in its wisdom many years ago, set up a system for municipal government that allows our employees to enjoy relative peace in their work environment by not feeling like they have 7 bosses, but 1. And the Mississippi Code establishes that the mayor is the CEO and is the supervisor of the departments, the department directors. We have had some instances recently where we have employees, department directors, who have felt disrespected, who have felt badgered, who have felt that lines were being crossed. and who have felt that their very jobs might be in jeopardy just because of conversation and negativity shared in that conversation, raised voices, argumentative tones. All of that has no place in Natchez. And in fact, all of that, if practiced, is a violation of state law, reportable to the State Ethics Commission. And there is case law on this, and there are penalties ranging from fines to removal of office. So what I have instructed our department directors to do in our department director meeting 2 weeks ago, again this morning, is to report any instances of this matter to me. And those matters will be reported to the Ethics Commission. It is fine to have conversation with our employees, with our department directors. I love to encourage our public works guys when they're in the ditch. Our firefighters last night when they were out there containing what could have been a bad situation. I love encouraging our police officers. I see them out everywhere. And I also encourage our department directors because they're under a lot of strain. And in fact, our city clerk, the strain she's been under just to try to get a budget done. I want to say this, as CEO, I never berate and I never argue, become hateful, argumentative, raise voices with any of my department directors. I look to them to get the job done. And the last thing I can do is demoralize them in getting that job done. Because I as CEO don't do it. I as CEO will not tolerate it being done by any of our aldermen. And so when these situations arise and they're reported to me, I will discuss this with you. I will make a report to the Ethics Commission because in the city of Natchez, we will follow the law. We will not run off our hardworking department directors. We will not discourage them in the course of doing some very difficult work. And we will at all times express and exhibit team-like behavior. Yes, ma'am, Alderwoman Hall.
We're not sure where this is coming from.
I just told you. I just told
Where it's
you.
coming from. However,
We've had
I
instances
will say-
lately,
let me-
and I was
let me
very
say
clear
something.
where it's coming from.
Like, we are, the form of government in the city of Natchez is the mayor, board of aldermen. And anyone in this city, anyone, any employee, any constituent has the right to come to an alderman or alderwoman
certainly
to speak about any issue. It is our responsibility to investigate what the issue is. And every last one of you up here know I have brought it to the mayor, board of aldermen. In my more than 50 years of professional life, I have never been accused of micromanagement. I've always been accused of being a team player and commended on being a team player. And I will continue to address any issue that is brought before me as a board of aldermen in the municipality of the city of Natchez.
May I ask that you bring those issues to me?
And I have brought them to
If
you
it is
and
of
to
a
the board of
personnel,
aldermen.
but if
And
it's
to
of
the-
a personnel
whatever
nature.
department, and to whatever department is necessary. And I've also addressed these with our city attorney.
But I stand by my
So-
statement. We will not berate our employees. We will not berate our employees.
And I will also say, we are the fiscal agents of the city of Natchez.
But you are also the legislative agent.
And we are the
And
legislative
the
body.
state law is clear that you act on personnel matters and budgetary matters
Absolutely.
as a board of aldermen,
That's what we're
not
saying.
as individuals.
That's what we're saying.
Not
And
as individuals.
That's what we're saying.
But
And
as
we
a board
also
of
have the
aldermen.
authority to talk to anyone who comes to us.
You do.
And we'll also continue to do so.
But not to berate our employees.
Mr. Mayor, don't talk
Their
about
job
berating.
is too hard. And I have said no names. Alderman Frazier.
Let me,
None of us have said it. We're
just let me say
addressing
this. I agree with what you say. And being as I've been in the city of Natchez a long time, I always said that I'm not here to micromanage anybody. That's not my job to micromanage
No, it's not.
anybody. But as an alderman, we do have the right to question different things. And I'm gonna say this last and not least, I understand the state statute and everything else, but as an alderman, we also have a vote and we also have a voice. If we feel that that department head is not doing what they want to do, we also have a voice to say, Mr. Mayor, I make a motion that we terminate him. We can do that. Let me put that on your mind. We can do that. Anybody can make a motion to terminate a department head if they got enough votes. If she get enough votes, or whoever want to do that, they have enough votes. That's the end of that conversation. So, but I don't think, to be honest, I don't think we're gonna come to that point. But as you
I
say,
would hope not.
we're gonna work together. But like I say, I don't know where this letter came from or what was the purpose. But then again, like I say, in each city, it always comes to that. I mean, this government, like Alderman Roman said, it's hard. See, the government is hard, and we like say we have had some discussions that been out of order and everything else with the department head and everything. But like I say, city government is hard. This is a hard job sitting here making the decision for the citizens of Natchez. And like I say, and like you say, Mr. Mayor, I don't think we should micromanage none of our department heads.
That's right.
But like I say, but we can, like say, make questions, ask questions, feel that if they're not doing a good job, we can make other decisions. But, like I say, as far as I'm concerned right now, I think all our department heads are doing an excellent job. And like I say, we do get a little hot-headed on the side, but we got to pass that on.
Yes,
The
Alderwoman
other thing
Smith.
not mentioned is not just it's not all about micromanaging department. It's about also going and getting in between the employees and the department heads too. And we've had people say they've done it, and that is not our job either. And now, yes, we do have, if there is a department head that has to be fired or hired, we have that. But the department heads themselves have the job to employ for their departments. And we're not to get in the middle of that employment. We're not to get in the middle of how they discipline in their department unless it comes to HRU and then you bring it to us.
Thank you, Alderwoman Smith.
We can bring complaints to the mayor and the board of aldermen as well.
Of course you can. Of course you can. The information provided by the attorney, state law is very clear. The Board of Aldermen can operate as a group, as a board, on personnel matters, on budgetary matters and all. But individual members must leave the day-to-day management of the city to the mayor. That's the way the system works. Thank you so much.
But
we do, yes, Alderman
we leave
Davis.
the management, when it comes to the money, we can't.
The day-to-day management's
If we're dealing with money,
the mayor. The
money.
day-to-day, but y'all approve the claims docket, you approve the budget, and that's correct. And
Financial stuff.
That's right.
But
we're talking about day-to-day management,
but they're dealing with money too now.
day-to-day management.
But this is all I want to say.
Yes, Alderman Davis.
Y'all say everybody up here has a right to report anybody to the ethics commission. We can report you too. Same
That's
way.
right.
It goes both ways.
It does go both ways. That's why I try to live by that golden rule. Treat others the way you'd have them treat you. And to always treat others with kindness, respect, and to understand too that our employees are our treasure. And without them, we can't get the job done for our citizens.
That's why we want to give them raises.
And that's right. But we must day to day make sure that this is a work environment that they find pleasing. I would like for Natchez to be known as one of the region's best employers. And we can't do that if we berate our employees. And if we talk down to
I
them,
can personally say
if we
I
become
have a great
aggressive,
relationship with
if
our
we
department
become
heads.
argumentative.
And
We have
that's all-
a
one more thing I want to remember.
executive
that
session.
The mayor supervises the employees, not the board of aldermen. And as Alderman Davis says, anyone can be reported to the ethics commission. But we have been a team. And some of this is, a lot of division is happening, and we got to get back to that cohesiveness. And
Amen.
respect one another and in one another's voice.
That's right.
And what is happening, the more people become vocal, then the criticism happens. So we should work, function as a team and respect each one's voice.
Exactly what
And
I
vote.
said. Yes, exactly. All right. But respect, the common, I think the common denominator to respect is kindness. I truly believe that, kindness. We get a lot further when we're kind. Communication goes a lot better when we're kind. Now, with that said, we do have an executive session. We have one matter to discuss during executive session. It shouldn't be a long matter, lengthy session, but we'll ask for a motion to go into closed determination here.
So moved.
Motion made by Alderman Davis, seconded by Alderman Maroney. All in favor of the motion indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. The ayes have it, motion carries. We are now in the closed determination, but we'll have this determination in the public. We do need to have a discussion on a personnel matter involving the municipal court within our police department. Do we have any discussion? I will call then for a motion to adjourn the closed determination, go back to regular session.
So moved.
Motion made by Alderman Maroney, seconded by Alderman Davis. All in favor of the motion indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
I only know of one, and that's the municipal court.
We had something went out in packets.
Let me see that.
I don't have it.
Oh, we do. This is something that I actually did not sign last week because the Board of Aldermen had not approved it. And it is pertaining to a potential legal dispute. And we're still in our closed determination, aren't we?
We don't have a form to vote. We need to vote.
We do have,
We
we do, three. We have three. And we have Alderman Davis right there. So included in this will be a discussion of a litigation matter. Thank you for bringing that to my attention. It takes a village, as they say. I'll now call for the question. I'm sorry. I'll call for the motion to adjourn our closed determination and return to regular session. Motion made by Alderman Davis, seconded by Alderwoman Smith. Discussion, we'll call for the question. We'll proceed to a vote. All in favor of the motion indicate by saying aye. All opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Motion carries. We're back in regular session. I'd like to entertain a motion to go into executive session for the reasons that we have just described.
So moved.
Motion made by Alderwoman Hall, seconded by Alderman Davis. Discussion, we'll call for the question. We'll proceed to a vote. Oh, I do need to ask in discussion. Mr. Attorney, does the discussion of this personnel matter and this litigation matter, does that meet the definition under our Open Meetings Act?
Mississippi Code annotated 2541-7 says that any discussion of job performance related to job performance, personnel matters, or professional competence is an exception to the Open Meetings Act, as well as any litigation, threat of litigation, litigation strategy, or potential litigation. All are appropriate for executive session and are exceptions to the Open Meetings Act.
All right, thank you. I'll now entertain a motion to go into executive session. I already have. I'll now call for the question. I'm getting a little confused up here. All in favor of the motion indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Motion carries.